I may be dead or disappeared soon. I've heard that our government, via the FBI, has been out arresting people, basically just raiding them and disappearing them for speaking the truth, what they feel or think about the government. Just like they did in China and Russia and various other places on the planet. I speak the truth. I speak. I can't. I can't shut up. I refuse to comply. They like to tell me, "Oh, keep a low profile. You know, don't tell people the truth." But the fact is, if we don't tell people and wake them up, then the more people that are awake, the better chance we have of defeating this tyranny. And if we don't defeat them, we're all dead. So this is a matter of survival. And I'm not afraid of them. And I mean, the worst they can do is kill me. We're all going to die anyway. So what? You know. So to comply is to be part of the tyranny. And I can't do that. I just can't be part of the tyranny. I have to fight the tyranny because I've got grandkids that aren't going to have a free country if these new world order people, this tyrannical government that we have right now. I mean, especially since the Kenyan has taken office, the tyranny skyrocketed. I mean, but people like to say he's the problem, but yeah, Bush was a problem, Clinton was a problem. I mean, it goes all the way back. Even Reagan was a problem, but at least Reagan did some good and some bad. But everybody since Reagan has just tried their best to be worse than the last one before them. So anyways, I can't lay up low profile. I save lives and I fight the medical tyranny and the FDA would attack me and kill me just for saving lives because they're there to protect the pharmaceutical companies, and I can get rid of all these deadly things they say that are incurable. I have fun getting rid of them. I really do. I have fun getting rid of those things that they claim are incurable with cheap natural remedies, no drugs. They want to give you a drug to control the symptoms. I just get rid of the problem. And I go around and protest the vaccines and stuff, and all this stuff you got to do to fight the tyranny. Go down to Fremont Street, hand out DVDs, and tell people who really blew up the World Trade Center, and tell them if they don't believe it, you tell them about Building 7. How did Building 7 go down? Didn't even get hit by an airplane. And there's a lot of stuff. We've got these unconstitutional DUI checkpoints. We've got judges that rule things constitutional that are unconstitutional. I hear a lot of people on the radio now saying things like, well, we license cars, so we should license people that buy firearms, license the firearm, register it, and all this. And I couldn't disagree more. The Second Amendment means what it says. It says it is the right of the people to keep and bear arms. This right shall not be infringed. That includes registration. Registration always precedes confiscation, and confiscation always precedes mass murder. Take a look at every single country that has confiscated the firearms. it always followed in either dictatorship or mass murder or both. I can't think of an exception. Maybe Australia, but I doubt it. And I do know at least, bare minimum, when they confiscate the firearms, the crime skyrockets because criminals love unarmed victims. So anyhow, I don't know how much longer you're going to hear from me. They may kill me. They may try to say I committed suicide, or I may just disappear now that they've ruled anybody that, or not ruled, but I should say they made a, let's see, how can I put it, but if you don't agree with what the government does, and you say anything about it, then they say that, oh, you're defying authority, and anybody that defies authority, that's a mental illness. So now that you're mentally ill because you don't like being a slave, you're mentally ill, so now they lock you up, throw you in a psychiatric facility or a FEMA camp and drug the crap out of you until there's nothing left of your brain. And at that point, you're good for nothing. You may as well be dead. So anyways, I'm not committing suicide, so if they ever say that I committed suicide, just know it's wrong. If I ever change my mind and plan on killing myself, I will let you guys know. But don't hold your breath. Don't fear these people. Ignore their tyranny, and in fact, I recommend everybody should do what I did. Forget the government candy. Don't even take it, because that's the downfall of every country that gives out government candy. And I'm talking about welfare and Medicaid and all that crap, food stamps. Just become sovereign. You take nothing from the government, you owe the government nothing. And the statutes will no longer apply to you. And that also includes regulations, codes, and ordinances. The only thing that applies is real law. And by real law, I mean common law. In common law, there's only 3 ways to commit a crime. You commit a fraud, you injure somebody's property, or you injure them. If no one is deprived of life, liberty, or property, there's no crime. And that's the easiest way to get around all this bullcrap, and then just ignore it. Everybody quit buying licenses and all this stuff. You know, when we live in a society where you have to produce something, you have to go get permission from somebody who produces nothing, and they make all this money, or take all this money from you for just, you know, sitting on their butt and holding their hand out and say, oh, thank you very much. You know, it's dead wrong. You can't even own your own property because you have to constantly pay rent on it via property tax. But they're going to come along and they're going to take your house or your property from you. So anyhow, it's time that we all just put a stop to this tyranny. Everybody just get some common sense and refuse to comply. And when they force your hand, sue them. I hate to say I've never sued anybody in my life, but I'm starting to now. I've got 2 lawsuits going against the government right now. One, they put me in prison for 727 days. That's 14,448 hours with no charges. They did it again for 24 hours. Not as big a deal by no means, but well, they they charged me with something, but it wasn't it was a false charge. I beat it. And I'm suing them for that too. It's a small suit, but just the same, they need to be punished. If we don't sue them for trespassing on our rights, then they're just going to keep trespassing on our rights. So we have to make them pay. And so I sued the officer personally. Do not be afraid of these people. The worst they can do is kill you. Like I said, you're all going to die anyways. I'm going to die, you're going to die. I know we want to be happy. Can't say I've never wanted a revolution, because, I mean, the way I look at it is we might as well just get it on and get it over with and get on with our lives. The sooner the better, because the sooner we do it, the less tyranny we have to tolerate. The longer we wait, the worse things are going to get. And you know, it's when the government, you got to look at them like a child, because they act like a child. And I've raised several kids, and what you do when a kid acts up, you put the stop to it right now. You don't wait till they act up for 2 or 3 hours and drive you crazy and then yell at them and then say stop it. No, you tell them to stop it as soon as they do something wrong. And we've let the government get so far out of hand that they're just like a spoiled, rotten kid that, you know, now the only thing we can do is, you know, take them out behind the barn and beat the crap out of them and, you know, straighten them up. And well, we never should have let it get this far. And I definitely don't want to get into a shooting war with the government, because I know what the plan of the New World Order people are, and what they want to do is get the people and the citizens in a shooting war with the cops and the military, which is a big mistake for us. Big mistake for the cops, big mistake for the military, big mistake for the people, big mistake for the citizens. However, the people and the citizens are not going to just sit back and be murdered like the Jews were in Germany. We know better. We're going to fight back if we do it. But I know the plan is they want to get us in a war with each other. I mean, DHS has declared veterans. Oh my God, can you believe this? Veterans, which I am one of them. That's why I say I could be disappeared at any time. They've declared veterans the biggest enemy to the government. And that's another thing when society's doomed. You know they're doomed when they're making laws to protect themselves. And they create agencies just for the purpose of protecting themselves. That's what TSA and DHS was for. It was never designed to protect the country. It's designed to protect the government from the people. That's what those were set up for. We had plenty of, before they existed, we had plenty of government. When we had FBI, we had the military, we got CIA, we had NSA, and countless other agencies. We didn't need another agency to protect the people from foreign invaders. We have plenty for that. This agency was set up specifically to protect the government from the people. That's what it was for. That's what it is for. And because us veterans have been around and we know better, we've been trained, we know what's going on, they want to protect themselves from us. And that's why they've declared us to be the biggest threat to national security. And which is, you know, craziest thing I can think of. But so anyways, I've got a lot of strikes against me as far as they're concerned. I save lives, I speak the truth, I expose their tyranny, and I'm a veteran. And they know that as a veteran, they know I know how to shoot. So anyhow, they can only kill us once, so don't be afraid of them. Refuse to comply.